Toledo police are looking for suspects in 3 more homicides from over the weekend. There was one late Friday, another Saturday, and another Sunday. The violence this weekend brings Toledo's total number of homicides for this year to 21. And so far, no one has been arrested or charged from these killings over the weekend. If you know anything that can help investigators, give Crime Stoppers a call or text.
We are giving you a closer look at WTOL 11's first official gang map.
Yeah, we talked with TPD's gang task force and can show the territory of some of Toledo's biggest gangs. Michael Sandlin is live tonight. And Michael, what can we share about this project?
Well, Mel, this map only has a portion of the gangs contained in the entire city, with our map showing only about 9 of the estimated 30 to 37 gangs that call Toledo home. Now, Toledo police say these are the locations for multiple Bloods, Crips, and other local gangs, and it shows you just how wide the territories are of these gangs, with a particular hotspot in central Toledo off of Dorr Street. However, as Sergeant Mel Stachura with TPD's Gang Task Force explains, just because a shooting happens in a certain gang's territory doesn't mean they're the ones pulling the trigger.
You'll see gang members proud to declare where they're from, but these are our traditional gangs.
No one in the Toledo Police Department knows gang territory better than Sergeant Mel Stachura, a member of TPD's Gang Task Force. He was able to pull from his years working on Toledo streets and recite gang territory down to the block just from memory.
You would have, say, the Stickney 33rd Blood gang members. So obviously the Stickney Avenue. You have the Moody Manor Bloods. So the Moody Manor that's located at Kent, 2200 Kent, that's one of our, generationally known gangs.
Sergeant Stachura proceeds to name 7 more generationally known gangs, including the Smith Park Mafia, the X-Block Crips, the Woodstock Crips, Southside Gangster Disciples, Cherrywood Crips, the Wreck Squad, and the Gear Gang Crips. I traveled to all of their territories. Some neighborhoods were quiet, others were active with people, and others still had memorials of those shot and killed. However, the sergeant explains that new kinds of gangs are emerging, called hybrid gangs, and it's making understanding territory much more difficult.
So you might see, say, like the Gear Gang Crips, which would be Monroe and Auburn area. You'll see some of them hanging out with Smith Park people, hanging out with Southside Gangster Disciples. There'll be small groups of people, but they consider themselves row gang. Or you'll have Body Up.
These hybrid gangs mainly consist of young gang members between the ages of 12 to 17, and their loyalties change from day to day. You could be with one group to stage a robbery on Friday, and by Monday you could be working with another group to run a hit on the people you had just worked with only days before. Sergeant Stachura explains this cycle of shifting alliances is not only more challenging for the police to follow, it's creating more gun violence.
And that's just the kind of the upsetting thing with this new generation we're seeing is it's not Crip versus Blood and Blood versus Crip. It's these small hybrid groups shooting out with other people.
Sergeant Stachura says these hybrid gangs are a serious concern, and TPD is monitoring them closely. And this gang map is a living document, as we'll continue to update it as we learn more territories of the many different gangs of Toledo.
Michael, it's fascinating to hear all this talk about the parts of the map and what we see and kind of where it is all laid out. So now that we have this in our possession, WTOL has provided that for our viewers. What do we do with it?
Well, Jeff, that's a great question. So Sergeant Stachura tells me it's critical for the public to be familiar with these so that they know what areas to stay away from, especially at night. And you can see what areas to avoid for yourself when these maps are on the web at WTOL.com in just a few hours. Reporting in studio, I'm Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.